Hello and welcome to Ty Plays. I hope you had a wonderful weekend. I am so excited to get back into Town to City with you guys. I am absolutely so grateful for all the love that has been given on this series. In the last episode, we added 2 more farms, and we added the clothing shop here, I think. And we also added a warehouse and the bakery and all those good jazz. So in between, I upgraded all the roads, and I fixed this road quite a bit from how wonky it looked before. It still kind of looks a little bit wonky, but I think it's okay for what it is. The road building in this game is a little bit choppy, so it's kind of hard to get some perfect lines and perfect roads. So we did with it what we could. With that being said, I went in and decorated a lot around here. I added some fences around the properties. I added some more stone. I added some light to their porches, and made sure that everything just looked nice and it flowed together. The only thing I didn't decorate was a clothing store, but that's kind of by itself, so I didn't bother with that right now. But yeah, our farming city is looking great. I think that we're doing completely well here. So we have 400 farm points, so we could go ahead and unlock the tier 2. So now that we have tier 2 unlocked, our farm points will cap at 800 now, and we have new stuff we can do. So we can do roses, cotton, beeswax, utility decorations we can get, which looks like wooden roofs, water pump, and big shed, which is awesome. Then we have global stockpile. So this is where we will get into using this farm town for our other city. So this will allow us to access crops from any city. So it's great. Extra granary workers, and then we'll be able to get a hatter at some point, and then set hat colors. And then eventually we'll get to hops, potatoes, tomatoes, lettuce. We can do a pub. Maybe they make burgers, but without animals. And then farm surface increase, that would be great. And then we have more decorations and a doghouse. So something to note that's coming out very soon in November is the animals update. And I'm so excited about that because that means that not only can we have, crop farms, we can also have like cows and that kind of stuff. And I'm interested to see what that will look like for this game. So I know that we can give people pets and all that good jazz. So I'm excited for it. I hope you guys are excited for it as much as I am. We're going to get some more townsfolk in here. I think it will just be important. Let's turn on that randomize before we start. I think we're going to do one of those. We're going to get this one here. I think I want to leave this open because I want to continue this path over, which I may do here in a moment. And then we'll upgrade these to level 2s, and then we'll also add some sand to their doorways. And that's not what I wanted to do. We can easily fix that like that. There's no undo button, unfortunately, and you got to make sure that you have the right settings on. So, all right, this person wants to be near peril. We have no housing over here, so I feel like I'm just going to dismiss them. We can get another family. We don't get penalized for dismissing people, so if they don't want it, they don't have to have it. We're going to add some lights over here and just really make it look nice, at least for a little bit. There we go. Just to fill it out a little bit more. So yeah, we got a lot of people in here. Looks like we need another person at the winery. With these upgraded roads, everything now reaches. So that's the great thing about them, is just everything can go a little bit further. So when I did this, it made me remove a worker from the warehouse and everything because everyone moves that much quicker. Right, let's take a look here. So we can unlock, well, we have enough to unlock roses and cotton and beeswax. So we're going to do that. And we're going to get these going. So first things first, I want to do our brick road. We're going to do the line tool. We're going to get, I think, 4. And we're not gonna draw on top because I don't want to do that. We have a little bit of a curve. Yeah, we'll do a little bit of a curve. And then we'll just do one of these. Yeah, I think I like that. And then just so that these kind of combine together, it's just better to do this now. And then we won't have to worry about it afterwards. Although, oh. That may be an issue. See what I mean by it's finicky? Like, since I didn't place it perfectly, it didn't do it, so. And there we go. As you can see, that's really expensive to upgrade roads, so, but I'd rather do it now before we get into anything crazy and then, you know, have issues. So, one thing I think we can do, so see how we have this farm here and we don't have a lot of space? We don't necessarily have to make the farm go right next to the house, so I can put part of it across the road. And I think that that's what I'm going to do for like the rose farm, because I think it really doesn't matter for roses in my opinion. We're going to have like a nice little corner house here, I think. And then we're going to let that build. We're going to put a dirt path like we always do. And we're going to do like that. So we're going to give them like a... I didn't like how that came out. I like to go just enough so that it's still a circular path and that we can still get that. And then we can, if we want to, we can come in and use some stone maybe and just paint a little sidewalk. And there we go. So we have kind of like a driveway sidewalk. We have no one here yet, but that's okay. We're going to edit this farm. We're going to grow some roses. I think... Let's use Z to rotate this brush. I actually almost want to freeform this with this kind of brush. I think we're going to use that fence to kind of encapsulate both. And then we can go ahead and do one of these. And we can continue this way. Don't love this. And so see how we have all this filled out, but now we still have more space that we can use. And this is where I think I'll just come in and kind of go like this. And then we can kind of add a path in between. And then we'll just separate the rose field down here. So it's kind of like they own the property across the road too. Because we kind of want to max out this surface area. The other thing too is we don't have to make the house all one crop. So we could make, you know, this house have roses and corn if we wanted to, or we can just get creative with what we want to do. And there we are. So now we met our 3400. We got our rose farm. I want to paint some dirt in here. Is there a dark dirt? There's not. So we're just going to do one of these. I like to do this around the crops because crops are never usually put on grass. And it makes it look nice. So did that. we could come in here and do this part. And there we are. So I'm going to quickly put the fences on this. And then you guys can watch me do this as well. So you know how I usually do this. So I'm going to come in here. We're going to... I haven't did a curve fenced yet, but we're going to do it here. And we're going to connect right there. Like I said, I want to share that fence. And we're going to come on this side. Actually, no, I cannot. I was going to say maybe it would let me add a node, but it does not. Which is okay. So now we can add maybe a slight curve. We're not going to do a slight curve. So we're going to do to here because I want to do a little arch. And then I want to do an arch on this side just to make it look like they kind of go in between farms. And then we can go ahead and block that off. And then we'll do the same over here. And just like that, we now have this farm done. And then usually I'd come in here and do some nice little decor and call it a day. So these guys will be happy over here. And they're also happy over here. We need a farm family assigned to this so they can do crops, but we will see what happens. For now, we will continue moving our road. We'll do a 4. And then... let's see, I think we want to go this way. Yeah. Because we may be able to fit a farm here, but like up here and then have the crop go down the hill there. That would be really beautiful. And then we can sort of start to curve in, I think, this way. And we can upgrade this road just so we don't have to worry about it later. There we are. I really like this white road. It kind of has a little bit of flair to it, I would say. Let's grab the people who don't mind being around here. Grab that. We'll put these people there. And we have no available more houses, but we do have more space, so we can go ahead and start putting more houses in. And then this house will be, I kind of want to set it back a little bit. This house will be a little bit higher end of a home. We'll just say that. Oh, that was a glitch. And we will do that, that, and that. All right. So now we can add our new people to town. And there we go. So you'll see the unhappy faces. What I've discovered with that is that's because there is now more demand for food. As you can see, 118, and we're just simply not producing enough. So we can either make another square, we can add more stalls, we can figure out some way to alleviate this. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to try and add more stalls. We're going to do one of these, we're going to do this. And then we're going to move this behind here. And we're just going to take a look at what we have. So the vegetables is low. We could put another vegetables here. Okay, I need to move this light out. So now we have a vegetable stall. So if we assign 3 people to that, you can see the demand now is 54, and the demand for this is 96, because they will start to split the amount of people they serve. See how it splits? So now the demand's less than the production. We're good. This demand's still high, so we could go for another one if we wanted to, or we could just focus on getting more of the other stalls. So we can do another poultry stall, perhaps here. And we can just really cram this in like a real market would be. At least I feel like real markets are usually like crammed to the brim. And we will add another fish stall. And so we'll add more labor here. And then we'll add more labor here. And then now we can see everyone's just so much more happier because now they can actually get access to the things that they want. So these are doing pretty well. The demand is not that bad. The demand for now fruit's not bad because we have another fruit stall over here. But the last thing we need is another cheese stall. And so we could just squeeze that in the middle here. I think we're going to do that. And then we'll staff that up. And then there we are. And now this needs another person because we have so much. But you can see how close this is. It doesn't really need much. This one has a little bit further to go because they have to take the food from the train over here, and then yeah. So yeah, all of our people are now completely happy. You can click on any of these and they're all using either one of these stalls. So if there is a house not highlighted, it probably means you do not have enough stalls for the demand that there is. We can move a family to here. And then move them there. And then we will add another person over here. All right, so we're doing good. We have still an extra 10 workers, so I think that we're doing just fine. We'll turn this into like a little park area over here. I think it'll be nice and cute. And then let's get our another farm up. So like I said, I kind of wanted one where it would go down the hill. So we're going to do one of these, and we're going to do our dirt circle driveway. And then, did that not? There we go. And then we can paint our stone again just to there. We'll get a family moved in here, and then we can edit this. And now we can add some, maybe cotton, or we can do beeswax. I think we're going to do beeswax because I think that's like a bunch of flowers and stuff. And I think this will just look pretty cool down here. So I want to get a nice sharp edge down here. And then we're going to get a let's see. I'll do it like this. And then we're going to do it like this. Keep hitting the wrong buttons. So, and just like that, we've already kind of ran out of space there. But when we get the upgrade that allows us to add more to this, it will just allow us to, you know, really get it filled out a little bit more. I just want to... I'm gonna take some here. There we go. I think I want to move the house like here, and then we can just redo this. And then we can redo our surfaces by just painting green grass here and then redoing our stone. And there we are. So this needs a granary close by. So this granary is maxed out, probably too full. I'm going to add more granary workers first. I think it would just be better to max this out first before we decide to put another one up here, because we will eventually just put one up top here and then we'll be good. So now we got our beeswax farm. I think once we get the expansion, this will just come out really good. We could. We'll get some decor. We'll get the Hatter. We'll call it there. I'm not loving that we have this space up to the border that we can't use. In between episodes, I may move this house a little bit down and then just have it wrap around, I think. Just so it's more full. And kind of like come down. Or I'll just continue this tree line over. I think that's what I'm going to do. I think I'll just continue the tree line over and not use that space as much. Just so we get some more nature in there. And then we want to get our last but not least, our last farm. We're going to put them here so they're not like super on a cliff. We're going to do our normal circle driveway kind of deal. And then, oh, what did I do? And then we'll put a family in there. And then we will do cotton. And I think that we'll just do that here. And we still have quite a bit of space here, so we're just gonna come up here and over, kind of use this. And there we are. I think that's like almost perfectly how I wanted it, because I want to kind of preserve this tree line, and then it's kind of going up the hill and we're following the contour, and that will be really great. And then the granary just needs 2 more people, and now we're gonna need a new granary next, but we have 2 more farms, and then we can do our Hatter and whatnot. But this has been a longer episode than I typically do, but I wanted to get more done. So thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed this episode. I hope you like how our city is shaping out in our farming village. I think that this is absolutely stunning. I I kind of want the farms to continue going up and around, and then I want to take a road and go up here and meet with it. And I think that we'll just have a really cool vibe that way. And I would like to get some farms in these hills as well. So we'll see what happens. And then eventually we'll want to expand out here and whatnot. I definitely like this map a little bit better than our main map, just because I feel like it's easier to have a good flow compared to the other map. But that is also a personal opinion. So, but anyways, I will see you in the next episode. Thank you for watching.